Good day everyone, this is Linda from the Deliverance Ministry in Roodepoort. Seeing that it is this time of the year again where Mother's Day celebrations are being done, I want to talk to you today about the paganism and the pagan origin of Mother's Day. You may not be aware, but this holiday was not born of flowers and candy for dear mom. No, it has a much more evil past, to say the least. Where did Mother's Day originate from? Mother's Day originated from the celebration of the mother goddesses in paganism. It was celebrated as a day to embrace pagan mother goddess figures. In Greece, they celebrated the mother goddess named Rhea. She was the Titaness, mother of the gods and goddesses of female fertility, motherhood, and generation. Her name means flow and ease. In Rome, they celebrated the mother goddess Cybele. She was the ancient Phrygian mother of the gods, a primal nature goddess, a symbol of nature's vitality and power, a guardian of caves, mountains, walls, fortresses, and wild nature and animals, in particular lions. Phrygian was first a kingdom in the west-central part of Anatolia, in what is now known as Asian Turkey, centered on the Sangarius River, later a region, often part of great empires. In Egypt, they celebrated the mother goddess Isis, which is also the mother of Horus, which is the god of war and the son of the sun god Ra. And since each pharaoh was considered the living Horus, Isis was very, very important in ancient Egypt. On your screens right now, you will see a picture where she is carrying the womb for a childbirth in her right hand. The pagan Roman Catholic faith again uses it to lift up Mother Mary in idolatry. The pagan Gaia earth worshippers also embraced this holiday as a way to lift up their Mother Earth goddess. The goddess Gaia is the ancestral mother of all life, the primal Mother Earth goddess. In the Wicca religion, which is a contemporary pagan witchcraft religious movement, witches practice witchcraft and Mother Nature worship. On your screens right now, you will see a picture which says, "I worship nature. Don't laugh. I can prove it exists." Can you guys see how they make a mockery of our faith, of our Christian faith, and our God and Jesus? Now that we know that the origin of Mother's Day comes from the religion of these different mythologies, let's look at the following verse. In 1 Timothy 4 verse 7 it says, "Have nothing to do with irrelevant, mocking, folklore and silly myths." The Bible tells us not to have anything to do with these things. Let's look at a few other verses. In Exodus 20 verse 12 it says, "Honor thy father and thy mother." The Bible says to do this always, not once a year when the world does it, and on a day that the world decided on. This is one of the 10 commandments. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "And do not be conformed to this world any longer." People, it means that we must not be like this world. We must not do what they do. We must not celebrate what they celebrate. It says, come out of this world with its superficial values and customs. Mother's Day is a superficial value and custom of the pagan religions. Let's read on. But be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in His plan and purpose for you. Jeremiah 10 verse 2. Do not learn the way of the pagan nations. It means do not be like them and do not do what they do. Celebrate what they celebrate and worship what they worship. People, if we celebrate Mother's Day, we are giving worship and honor to a pagan mother goddess, a false god. We are supposed to be holy, to be set apart. Exodus 19 verse 16 says, and you shall be to me, that is to God, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation set apart for my purpose, not for a pagan purpose, for God's purpose. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 14 says, do not be unequally bound together with unbelievers. We are not supposed to do what the unbelievers do. Do not make mismatched alliances with them, inconsistent with your faith. For what partnership can righteousness have with lawlessness? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? We are not to have fellowship with religions of darkness. Colossians 2 verse 8 says, see to it that no one takes you captive through philosophy and deception, according to the traditions of men. What is Mother's Day? It is a tradition. A tradition of who? Of the world, of men. From where does it come from? From Satan. Satan is the god of this world. Let's read on. Following the elementary principles of this world, we are not supposed to follow the elementary principles of this world, rather than following the truth, the teachings of Christ. Matthew 15 verse 3 says, he replied to them, why also do you violate the commandment of God for the sake of your tradition? 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 21 and 22 says, abstain from every form of evil. Withdraw and keep away from it. People, we must keep away from these worldly celebrations, from these traditions of men, from these celebrations for pagan gods and goddesses. Let's look at which demon spirits are connected to Mother's Day. Remember that anything that is not from God, any celebration which is not for God, any pagan holiday celebration has demon spirits that work there and that work in the lives of the people that take part in it. And you might think that by celebrating Mother's Day, that it doesn't do you any harm. There are still evil spirits working in your life, working in your children's life, working in your mother's life, which are sent by Satan to cause you harm, whether you want to believe it or not, and whether you can see it or not. Let's look at it. Let's look at these demons. The spirit of idolatry, as in the case of Mother Mary. The spirit of upraise. You're raising your mother up to a higher level. We are to lift up Christ only, no one else. We are not to make an idol of any person. The spirit of self-glorification and pride. Mothers who expect something on Mother's Day and get arrogantly angry when they don't get exactly what they think they should have gotten or what they think they are worth. The spirit of self-pity. Mothers who don't get acknowledged on Mother's Day. Spirit of loneliness. Mothers who are alone on Mother's Day. The spirit of heart sore and depression, in the case of mothers whose child or children died. The suicide spirit. Mothers who just can't bear the pain of Mother's Day. And the spirit of mammon. Millions of rands get spent on this one worldly day to buy cards, gifts, dinner, etc. People, we are called by God to live a holy life. God is not in any of these pagan celebrations. Let's get rid of these things in our life. Let's live a life that God wants us to live, and the clean life that God called us to live for Him, and to shine His holiness and His light into the world. Let's be separate. Let's be different from the world. If you would like to go and watch more of our videos, we are on YouTube under Linda and Marius, Deliverance and Business Ministries. And I wish you all a blessed Jesus Day. Bye-bye.